everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. So, by the title, I'm going to be talking about one of my biggest regrets in life, which is my tattoos. So, let's just take a trip down memory lane. I got my first tattoo when I was actually 17. I got it done in someone's living room. I don't even know if I was in I don't know if I was in Harlem or if I was in the Bronx. I can't remember, but I was in one of those two boroughs. And the person that I was dating at the time, I guess this was their friend, and their friend was doing tattoos, and I was like, yeah, I would love to get a tattoo. My first tattoo, which is on my shoulder, so it is a rose and it has Arabic writing on my collarbone. And I remember getting that tattoo, I was so scared, and it actually didn't hurt that bad. And come to find out, I think it didn't hurt that bad because I think that his equipment wasn't like, I just don't think that it was good because the tattoo has faded a lot and it just wasn't really that painful. So I heard once you get your first tattoo, you were basically hooked, and I can definitely say that that is true because once I got my first tattoo, I wanted so many more, and I continued to get more. It was just absolutely insane. Backstory, I don't think that my parents were really against tattoos. I just think they were kind of indifferent about it, and I knew once I turned 18, I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. If I want to get a tattoo, I'm gonna get it. If I want to get a piercing, I'm gonna get it. So that's what I ended up doing. And I've always been told, if you're gonna get a tattoo, make sure you have thought behind it and make sure that it's meaningful. And at that point in time, I was like, who cares? If you like it, you like it. You're paying for it. Obviously, you're gonna have it on your body. Me not realizing that my decision would be on my body for the rest of my life, and the fact that I was gonna get older, that wasn't something wasn't clicking.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
So I decided to get a bunch, and I got a bunch in a very short period of time. I think I got all of my tattoos within a span of a year and a half, maybe two, but I feel like it was a year and a half. And I had the money for it, so obviously I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get whatever I want. And I was really set on having a sleeve because I really wanted to fill up my arm. And honestly, I just wanted to look cool. I know this, thinking about it now, it sounds so stupid, but I wanted to look like this. I was very petite then, so I was like, I want to be this petite girl who has all these tattoos, and I just want to look so just cool, which I did. But at the same time, I'm just like, why did you even do that? So my last tattoo that I got is actually the one that I hate the most, which is this geisha. And I think after I got this tattoo, I had to sit for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and it was painful, but it was also a very uncomfortable feeling. It's a feeling that I can't describe. It was just when you're put in an uncomfortable situation, imagine that. It was just uncomfortable for 3 to 4 hours, and I feel like I just couldn't explain why it was so uncomfortable. And I remember I wanted to get another one on my hand. I wanted to say doll face, but thank God the artist that I went to, he didn't have any time to do it. So now I'm like, that is a blessing in disguise. I'm going to tell you guys some meanings behind my tattoos as well as why I came to this conclusion. So the first tattoo, I have 2 roses, and I have a quote in Arabic that says, "For you 1,000 times over." I really like this. I feel like it has a nice meaning, but the reason why I want to get rid of it is because it doesn't resonate with me anymore. And a lot of times when I go into stores or someone that sees me that speaks Arabic, they ask me if I speak Arabic because also my name is Arabic, but I'm like, no. And they're like, well, why do you have an Arabic tattoo? And I'm like, actually, you know what? I don't know why I have it either. I remember one time I was in an elevator. This was pretty recent. My friend was visiting, and the there was a couple in the elevator, and I believe they were speaking Arabic, and I could hear them say like, oh, tattoo, and they were kind of like looking at me, and I feel like they were trying to see if I understood what I had on my body. And I was like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I obviously know what it meant, and I had someone check it, but I was like, why do I have this like this language that I don't speak, even though it's super pretty? But I'm just like, why do I have it? You know what I mean? The second tattoo, actually, a few tattoos I am going to be keeping. So like this, I'm lost in the world. This is a Kanye West lyric. I am going to be keeping this. And I have these 3 roses here, which are from my mom and my siblings. So I am going to be keeping those 2 pieces because I feel like they were nicely done. But the rest of them I do want to get rid of because 1, I have no attachment to them, and 2, they are poorly done. This tattoo right here on my wrist, I originally got this because I wanted it to look like a piece of jewelry. So I wanted it to look like a bracelet, like very dainty. And I think I showed the guy inspiration pictures. I don't remember, but I remember he drew this on my body, and I didn't like it. And I remember I was with my cousin at the time, and I was like, oh, like, what do you think? She's like, oh, it's nice. And this is no, like, I'm not blaming her at all in this situation, but I feel like part of me wanted her to say, oh, I'm not really sure, so that I could be like, oh, I'm not really sure. Because when I got this, I think I was 18, and I was really scared to tell the artist that I didn't like it because I didn't want him to think that I was insulting his work, so I let him tattoo it. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I let this man tattoo this. And then I remember I posted a picture on Instagram, and someone said that it looked like SpongeBob's Pineapple House, and ever since then I was like, oh my god, I hate this. It looks like a fish, and I feel like if I liked fish or mermaids, like, I could have went with it, but I have no attachment to fish. And I was just like, this is just horrible. This is absolutely horrible. So whenever I see this, I like to hit it. This is actually in Ethiopian. This says, I love you very much. And I basically got it from the Weeknd song because he's Ethiopian, and it's meaning like, I love you very much, but you're saying it to a man. And then 1111 I got because of my mom. I do like this tattoo, but I feel like it's poorly done. I might keep this, to be honest, but I wish that it was done nicer, but I don't think I will ever get this touched up because it was so painful. Like, I wish that I had gotten it more fine lined. And I remember the artist that did the 1111 and these like little dangly charms here, she was, I guess, new, or she wasn't a good artist at the studio. And I remember, I don't know if it was before she tattooed me, but I remember there were people in the tattoo shop talking about how poor her work was. And of course I got her. And at the time I was like, oh, this looks like super cute. But now I'm just like, it's just so uneven. It's just like the lines are blown out, and it just looks like terrible. So I want to get this removed, as well as this right here, and then possibly the 1111, so that I'm left with just the roses. The next tattoo that I got was the dragon. I wanted it to be kind of like Korean / Japanese themed, and the tattoo artist that did most of my tattoos was actually Korean, so I just let him just basically use his artistic, you know, I just let him do whatever. And this tattoo, I like it, but at the same time I feel like it's so big. It's just so big, and I'm just like, I have no, like, nothing about a dragon resonates with me. Like, why do I have this on my arm? And the tattoo that I absolutely hate the most is this geisha. My little geisha. First of all, I'm not Japanese, so I don't know why. I know why I got this, but at the same time I'm like, why did you get this, girl? And this was the most uncomfortable tattoo that I have gotten. She's super botched. She has these tiny little hands. Her face is blurry, and I don't like the placement because when I bend my arm, it looks like she has a snapped neck. So I remember I wanted it smaller, but the guy was like, oh, you know, it's not gonna look as nice if it's shrunken down. So I let him like size it up here. And obviously it was like this space that needed to be filled. But I think this tattoo is just horrible. And I get a lot of stares from Korean people when like I'm out. And I remember one time I went to a Korean spa and I got a massage, and I believe that my masseuse was Korean. He was a man, and he was like, I think it was just like my back and my arms, and he was like massaging my arm, and I could tell that he stopped, and then I felt him smack my arm, and I know exactly where this tattoo is. So he was like, and it wasn't that hard, but I definitely think he did it because of this tattoo. So I'm just like, oh my god, like this is just horrible. I do have another tattoo on my foot, but I'll probably just leave that because it's a matching tattoo with my cousin. It says Ohana, and I don't think I'll get rid of that. But so now into why I want to get them removed. I've been thinking about this for a few years. I was debating, so basically I was debating with cover-ups, because besides these tattoos right here, I like these, but these I really wanted to cover up. So I really wanted to cover up the fish scale and the geisha, and I was thinking about getting the dragon touched up. So I was very set on getting a cover up, but I feel like cover-ups are definitely more expensive than getting a normal tattoo, because you're covering up someone's work. They have to fit the new tattoo on top of the cover up, and especially with this being so black, I knew it was going to be hard to cover up. And the geisha, I just didn't know what I wanted. And that's another thing, like I haven't gotten another tattoo because there's nothing else that I really want. So I was very set on doing a cover up. And then once I hit like my mid-20s, I noticed that I would wear a lot of long sleeve stuff, and I liked how I looked more during the fall and winter time when my arms were completely covered up. I felt like I looked more sophisticated, and I felt like the older I got, I was starting to look trashy. I used to love wearing like tank tops and just like pants and jeans during the summertime, and I felt like little by little I would look at myself and I'm like, you just look like so trashy. And I think it's because my tattoos aren't well done. Like I've seen a lot of girls who have their tattoos and they're beautifully done, like they're fine line and they have full sleeves and they look perfectly fine. Like I would never say that they look trashy, but on me I feel like they do, and I feel like there's a lot of things that I am limited in wearing. Like for example, I can't wear like halter dresses that are like short, just because I feel like it leans very hoochie. And I feel like certain like slip dresses, like I just feel like they don't look right on me because of my tattoos. Some people could say it's just because of who I am, which I don't feel like I carry myself in a certain way, like where I would give off like, you know, not sophisticated, but I feel like my tattoos definitely limit me on what I can wear. And the older I get, I just don't resonate with them. It's like, why do I have this like dragon on my arm? Like it's not something that I like at all. And I think I came to the conclusion earlier this year that I really just want to get them removed. I was still debating a cover up because I felt like the cover up and getting them removed would be around the same price. So I ended up reaching out to a tattoo place, well not tattoo place, a laser place that does tattoo removal and lasering, and this was the first time I ever had gotten a quote, and I had just sent them the geisha, the dragon, the fish, and the rose tattoo, and they quoted me like with everything together $10,000, and I was like, that's like triple what I paid for the tattoos. Okay, I was just like, oh my god, I'm never financially gonna recover from this. I was like, okay, maybe I should just cover them up. Like I don't know what to do. So I reached out to some other places. I was looking on Groupon, and my biggest thing was I really wanted this geisha removed and the dragon removed. And I reached out to a few people on Instagram, and some people told me that they could remove the colors, but it might not get removed all the way. But like, for example, the orange, but the rest of the colors they could remove. So I was like under the impression, okay, I can get my tattoos fully removed. And then I spoke with another woman who was a low-key, she was a little rude, but she was like, you have a lot going on. Do not touch the color because those will never go away. And I was like thinking to myself, she must be lying because people told me that these tattoos can get removed. Like, what is she talking about? So fast forward to last week, well, actually a little bit back, I had spoken to someone at a work party, and he was telling me how he went to this place called Removery to get his tattoos removed. And I was a little bit worried with darker skin because a lot of times, like, I've heard a lot of horror stories with lasers really aren't meant for darker skin. Like, a lot of people, they don't know how to work with brown/dark skin. And he had showed me some tattoos that he was having removed, and I was like, okay, wow, like I can actually do this. So he recommended this place, and it's actually a pretty big franchise. I did not realize they have a bunch of locations. So I reached out and I actually set up an appointment last Wednesday. So I ended up going, I had to fill out some forms. It was a really beautiful space. And the person that I spoke to, her name was Shanice. She was so nice, so informative, and I was just so happy to also be speaking with someone who was African American because I was a little worried. I was like, okay, what does this other person know about my skin type? Are they gonna know how to remove tattoos? So when I spoke to her, I felt super comfortable. She answered all of my questions, and she was so nice. So I went through all the tattoos that I wanted to get rid of, and she had to measure them because they go by square inch, I believe. So depending on how big the tattoo is, obviously it's gonna be more money. And yeah, so I went over all my tattoos with her, and she basically had to break the news to me that color tattoos will never be removed on brown skin or skin that has melanin. So if you are white or Asian, you will probably be able to have your color tattoos fully removed, except for like yellow, which is supposed to be one of the hardest colors to remove, or white, because the way she explained it to me, like white, it will turn brown. And when she told me that color tattoos will not be able to be removed on brown skin, like I felt like my heart dropped. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So basically she told me for these tattoos, the outline will be able to be removed, the red will be able to be removed, but like the blue, the orange, the yellow, that's going to be there. It may fade a little bit, but otherwise it's not going to be fully removed. Same with up here, like this orange, this green, it's not going to go away. And in that moment I was like, I feel like I should just leave them. Like, what's the point of even removing them? But I thought to myself, okay, as long as I can get the outline gone, and if they're faded a little bit, I could, if I want to, I could get a cover up, something small, or for like special occasions, I could put makeup on them. Because that's one thing I was really worried about is, you know, when I get married, I don't really want to have like a full sleeve, and I really want to have my tattoos removed or in the process of being removed by the time I turn 30. So that's about 3 years, maybe 2 and some change. And I was just like, I was very discouraged, and I was asking her like, okay, well, what's the possibility of them ever being removed? And she was like, honestly, I don't see it happening within like 7 to 8 years. And I was like, oh my God, I did not realize that. And people that I've spoken to, they said that color could be removed. And she showed me photos of people that went to places that promised that they could remove color, and their skin scarred. It was like, imagine a bunch of white dots just all over the skin because the laser like burned them. So I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. So the price that she quoted me for, so basically she said that the closer the tattoos are to your heart, the faster they go away. So this tattoo right here would be removed like pretty quick. This tattoo could be fully removed, as well as this. So any black ink will be fully removed. She said within the first 3 sessions you really won't see a difference, but after that it'll start to go away. The laser has to hit the deepest part of your dermis, and then you basically like flush the tattoo out of your body, which is a very interesting concept. But yeah, I've come to the conclusion and the decision that I do want to remove my tattoos, and I feel like I'm going to be so much happier. I don't think this is a process that I'm going to start until maybe next year, just because I have certain priorities that I want to do, like for example going on my trip and saving for that. So I think next year will be my saving for tattoo removal. They offer such good packages. Like I was quoted, and it's a lot, I was quoted $4,000 to remove the tattoos that I told you guys about, but compared to the other places that I was quoted, like it's a fraction of the price. And with the package you get unlimited sessions until the tattoos are removed. So I was like, wow, that's really good, because most people pay per session, which I was worried about, because at the end of the day that could really stack up, and each tattoo is different, so you don't know how many sessions you're gonna need. But I have come to the conclusion that I want to remove my tattoos, and I feel like I'm going to be so much happier and just feel better about my appearance, because like I hate wearing short sleeves like this, especially out, because I feel like people look at me and I'm just like, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But yeah, I really want to know if any of you guys have done tattoo removal. I'm very curious to see how your experience was. Please let me know down below, and what place you went to. I would love to know as well. I think that I'm going to go with Removery when I decide to start removing them, because she was just so nice. Like she explained everything so thoroughly, and she was just so nice, honestly. So yeah, let me know if you guys have felt the same way that I have, and let me know your thoughts down below. I will link Removery down below as well. Also, this video was not sponsored. I went to Removery and I had my own consultation by myself. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this transparent video, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!